Yeah, guys, sorry today it became late today. Okay, so today we will be doing the DevOps workshop, guys. Okay. So what are all our topics was there? Let me list out. First was the Linux. Right. Second was Maven. I'm just listing it out. Then SonarQube. Fourth, Nexus. Fifth, Jenkins. Sixth, Ansible. Docker. So here's Git. I forgot here. Then when I have missed 3 demos attended, only one. Is there any important? Nothing, guys. Only the same one. It was. So okay, from Nexus. Okay. Then 8. Tomcat. Wildfly. Nagios or Zarex. And then Kubernetes. Okay, so these are all the tools, guys, excluding AWS. Okay, so we are doing, and at the end of our session, so we will be having a CI CD. Okay, process using Jenkins, right? Okay, so this is excluding AWS. Okay, so first, one second, somebody has dropped a message. No, guys, there was nothing important. All the 3 days I have took is the demo only. Okay, so no worries. Okay, so from Linux, what are all the things we are going to teach here? Okay, so as I told you guys, so 95% of the machines will be the Linux only. Okay, in a real time. Okay, so you guys needs to be very much hands-on in the Linux commands. Okay, so for that, first the first tool we are teaching it is a Linux. Okay, so under that, first we are teaching how the Linux operating system boots. Okay, first we have to understand how the Linux operating system boots here. Okay, and then Linux commands. So some of the basic Linux commands. Okay, so this will take roughly around 1 week, guys. Okay, So this is one of the important tools. So I have mentioned the basic command that doesn't includes only the basic, guys, also all the commands we are going to teach here. So otherwise, let me remove the basic. I will keep only Linux commands. Okay, so once you guys are thorough with these Linux commands, okay, so it will be very familiar how to operate your Linux machine, because Windows is different and Linux is different. Okay, in Windows you will be having the GUI, that is a graphical user interface, right? Whereas in a Linux machine there will be no UI here. Okay, only thing is you have to work on in Linux commands only. Okay, so then comes the our next tool, that is the Git or GitHub. So this is our VCS, that is a version control system, right? Okay, so under this one, first what we are going to do, we'll be having the first introduction. So what this VCS is. Okay, first we are going to teach our VCS, I mean introduction to the VCS, that is a GitHub in our case. Then comes the installation. Okay, so installation includes both. Okay, so installation includes both in Windows as well as in a Linux machine, guys. Okay, so then comes the creating the online repository. Online repositories here. So repositories, as I told you guys, the developer commits the code, right? So he is pushing that code to into a remote repository. Okay, so initially what they are going to do is first they will be working on their local machine. Okay, so the code will be there in their local machine here. Okay, so in order to store that data in one repository, one machine, so we are using one online repository here. Okay, so I will show you how to create those online repositories, how to sign up, and each and every step I will teach you from a scratch, guys. Okay, so don't worry about that. Then comes the configuration here. Okay, so how you need to configure your VCS in both Windows as well as in a Linux machine. Okay, Windows as well as Linux. So then comes the managing the branches. Okay, managing the branches in the sense, guys. So see here, we will be deploying this code to our online repository here. Okay, so under that repository, we will be maintaining the branches there. Branches in the sense subdirectories, we can say. Okay, or so by default there will be having the master branch. Okay, so that master branch will be having the what do you call, the certified code, we can say. Okay, so assume I am the developer, I have verified that code is working fine in a window, I mean what do you call, in a production servers. Okay, so now in the next attempt my developer wants to update that code, right? Okay, so if I give the same code to him, okay, he will be start working on that, and if he makes some mistake in that code, so then it will affect my business, right? So in order to avoid that issue, guys, we are creating the branches here. Okay, so branches in the sense that is exactly the mirror image of your master branch. Okay, so what we will do is in a real time we will not give the access to the master branch to our developers or any other team member as well. Okay, only for the DevOps engineers will be having the, guys, please go on mute. Yeah, thank you. So in order to avoid such issues, what we are doing is we are not giving the master branch access to our developers nor any other team member as well. Only for the DevOps engineers will be having the access to the master branch. Okay, and for this and for this developers, we are creating the separate branch for them, and they will be working on that branch. Okay, and that branch will be exactly the mirror image of your what do you call, master branch here. Okay, then merging the branches. So why we need to merge here? Okay, so as I told you, we are creating the separate branch for them, right? So once the developer writes the updated code, okay, so that code is working fine is local machine here, right? So then I have to merge that code to the master branch, because master branch will be having the certified code there, right? So during deployment, so whatever the existing was there, along with that any updated code was there, so both has to get merged, and we have to do the deployment here, right? So hence we have to merge the code, I mean, from the one branch to master branch here. Okay, so the merging includes n number of steps and n number of stages as well, and some logics also is there, so I will explain on everything. Okay, so then comes the rebase. So rebasing the branches here. So rebase is also one kind of merging, okay, but there is a quite difference in the rebasing. So this is the very important topic in a Git, that is a rebase. Okay, then comes the stash. So this is also an important question. Okay, stash. Okay, so what is the stash here? Okay, so stash is the one kind of buffer memory here. So whenever the developer writes the code, okay, if he wants to work on some other code, at that time, if he wants to what do you call, store that data in his local machine, okay, they are using this stash memory. Okay, so I will do it with a demonstration there. Okay, then comes the cherry pick. Okay, so cherry pick is also one kind of merging here, but there is some difference is there. Okay, you will come to know in the regular session. Okay, then comes the git squash. Okay, git squash. So squash in the sense, basically we are, whenever we are committing the code here, okay, we will be providing some commit message in order to identify that code. Okay, so what this git squash is performing is, this git squash will squash all those commit IDs and it will make as a one single commit ID. Okay, so for that we are making this git squash. So what are the topics I'm mentioning, guys? All are important only, and in the interview also you'll get the same questions only. Okay, and here I want to add one more. So here we are making the passwordless communication. Passwordless communication. So why we need to do the passwordless communication here, and from where to where here? Okay, so passwordless communication includes, see, the developer is writing the code and he has to update that code to the online repository, but how he is updating here basically? So for that he has to provide the username and password. Okay, so if the user is, I mean, if the developer is committing the n number of times per day, okay, during every push he is supposed to provide the credentials. Okay, in order to avoid such issues, okay, we are using this passwordless communication. Okay, so if once you configure this passwordless communication, okay, though whenever the developer pushes the code to the online repository, okay, it will not ask you for the password. Okay, so it will make the passwordless communication. Okay, so these are all some of the important topics, so which if I left anything, so I will add during the session, regular session. So then comes the Maven. So Maven, why we are using? In order to create the artifacts, or it is the build tool, that is that it is making the raw source code into an executable code, guys, right? So this includes, first we will be having the introduction here. Okay, what is the Maven, why we have to use this, what is the advantage of using this Apache Maven, so all these things. Okay, then comes the installation. So installation includes again Windows as well as Linux. In both the machines we'll do the installation, because in a real time some machine, I mean some organization, they may use the Windows and some of them may use the Linux. Okay, we will be get expertise in both Windows as well as in the Linux. Okay, then comes the configuration. So basically, in order to use this Apache Maven, we have to do some configuration. Apart from, otherwise we cannot use that. So those configurations here, and it includes goals. Okay, goals in the sense it is just like commands only. So Apache Maven is having their own commands, so we have to work on those commands. So what are those commands and what is the use of those commands? So all those things we will analyze there. And then comes the repositories here, repo in Maven. Okay, so basically we have three kinds of repository. Sorry guys. So basically we will be having the three kinds of repository here. So the repository includes local, Maven central and remote repository. So we will be working on all these three repositories guys. Okay, and how to configure and each and every steps. Okay, then configuring this repo. Okay, so configuration of these repositories, then working with Maven project. So from here our project starts guys. Okay, so I will be sharing the project, the real-time project. So we will be working on that project guys. Okay, so then comes the Sonar Cube. So Sonar Cube, why we are using? We are using the Sonar Cube in order to check the quality of the source code, right? So here in this introduction, introduction first. So what is the Sonar Cube and why we have to use all those things? First introduction, then again installation includes both. Okay, so all the installation we are performing in both the machines guys, Windows as well as in Linux. Okay, then comes the configuration here. Okay, so how to configure your Sonar Cube, okay, with your local environment as well as with your Jenkins here. Okay, so and architecture. Okay, architecture of this Sonar Cube and how we need to, what is the use of this architecture and everything, and understanding the UI, understanding the UI part of the Sonar Cube. Since Sonar Cube is the web-based application guys, so we have to understand what exactly and what options is used for. Okay, then generating the report. Okay, report of the source code. Okay, generating the report of the source code. So that is the standard format, and then customization also possible. Customizing the rule sets. Okay, for the app, for the application, customizing those. Basically we will be having some of the rule sets there in Sonar Cube. So I will show you the standard one as well as how to customize that also. Okay, then configuring the quality profiles. Okay, then again configuring the quality gates as well. Okay, then the administration part. Okay, administration. And one more thing is, some of the institute, they are not teaching the sonar cube only, as per my understanding. Okay, so then comes the Nexus. So Nexus, why we are using? So Nexus is the Artifactory repository, guys, right? Artifactory repo. So here we'll be doing in introduction and then installation and then configuration and then hands-on with project. Okay, so that is about the Nexus. That is okay. Then comes our most important tool, that is the CI tool, Jenkins. Okay, so this will take a lot of time. Okay, so introduction here. So what is this Jenkins? Then how we can do the installation. Okay, again installation Windows and Linux. Okay, then comes the types of installation here. There are n number of types available, guys, in installation. Types of installation. Okay, so then configuration here. So how to configure your Jenkins server. Okay, then creating the freestyle project. So basically, guys, in a real time, we'll be not using this freestyle project. We'll be using the scripted one just for our understanding purpose, how the Jenkins works here. Okay. So for them, first I'm creating this freestyle. So freestyle includes, it is in a GUI. Okay. So later on, we'll be writing a script for this. Okay. So then comes the pipeline script. So basically, it is a groovy script. Okay. Then automating the job. So as I told you, we need to create a one job for each project, right? So by default, we have to run that project manually, guys. Okay. So I will show you how we can automate those those jobs, guys, basically. Okay. So without the manual intervention, so how we can trigger these jobs automatically. Okay. Then installation of plugins. So here we will be using the n number of plugins here. Okay, so Jenkins is having the n number of plugins. Using those plugins, we have to configure our application and start using it. Okay, then comes the master slave configuration. This is the most important, guys. Okay, very important topic this is. Okay, master slave configuration. Okay, master slave configuration, then email configuration. So why we need to make the email configuration here? Okay, so basically whenever the job get fails here, okay, we have to receive the notification, right, saying that this job is got paid, or we have to get the message, or at least some intimation we require, right? So for that we are using this email configuration, or a notification we can say. Better we can use the notification. Okay, notification configuration. Then comes the multi-branch pipeline. Okay, multi-branch pipeline here. So as earlier we were creating the pipeline for one single job, so here we are using this multi-branch. Okay, what is, as the name suggests here, multi-branch here. Okay, multiple branches. So in a git we are creating the branches, right? So using those branches, multiple branches, we are creating the triggering the job here. Okay, so for that we are using this multi-branch pipeline. So that is also an important. Then comes the security. Okay, so security includes how we need to secure our Jenkins, how to take the backup of your Jenkins, how to migrate from one server to another server. Okay, so all those things. So the migration as well. Okay, migration of this Jenkins server. Then comes the administration. So yes, these many topics we are teaching here from 47 to 47, 60. Okay, so it takes a lot of time, roughly around 2 weeks, guys. This Jenkins. So then comes the Ansible. So this is also most important, Ansible. So here also first introduction, then installation here. Okay, then introduction to Chef or Puppet. Okay, then architecture. Okay, architecture of this Ansible machine. Then configuration of Ansible to node servers or target machine. Guys, machine in the sense our what do you call computer here, guys. Okay, so don't misunderstand that word. I used to call machine here. Okay, then comes the components. Components of Ansible machine. Okay, components of Ansible machine. Then writing the playbook. Okay, writing the playbooks here. So playbooks are very important. So using these playbooks only we are working, and it is writing in YAML files. Okay, YAML scripting. It is also one kind of scripting. Okay. Then comes the handlers. Okay, and roles. So all these things I will explain, guys, during the sessions, regular sessions. Then writing the working with playbooks. Okay, then templates. Okay, templates, how to work with your templates. Then what else? Ansible Vault. Okay, so Ansible Vault is used for saving the password. Okay, so we cannot keep the password openly, right? So we have to encrypt that password, and we can use it in our real time. Okay, so for that we are using this Ansible Vault. Then comes our Docker. So why we're using this Docker? Docker is a containerization tool. Okay, so here also includes introduction to the Docker and an installation. Okay, then writing the Docker file. So this is also one kind of script, guys, but it is very easy. Okay, writing the Docker file. Sorry, this Docker file is a single word. Okay, writing the Docker file, then keywords in the Docker file. Next, creating the image from the Docker file. Okay, so how to create the image. Okay, then creating the containers. Okay, creating the containers. Interacting the containers, interacting with the containers here. Then running the containers and Docker. Sorry, any questions, guys? So in order to store the data of this Docker containers, okay, we are using this Docker volumes. Okay, then creating the creating the image from the running containers. Okay, so creating the image from the running containers. So why we need to do in the sense, let's say I am working on some machine and it is having some data or something, or it is working fine. I want to store that container here. Okay, we cannot store that container. So for that, what we are doing is we are creating the image from the running container. Okay, so for that we are using this. Then comes the multi-stage. Guys, any questions? Okay, multi-stage containers. So why we have to use multi-stage containers? In order to reduce the size of this Docker containers, we are using this multi-stage Docker. Okay, so then comes the Docker compose. So in order okay, Docker compose. So in order to run the multiple containers in a single shot, we are using this Docker compose, guys. Then comes the Docker swarm. So why are using this Docker swarm here? So Docker swarm is used for in order to create a cluster. Okay, so if any one of the machine goes down, okay, but still your containers will be up and running. Okay, so automatically if any one container goes down, automatically the new container will come up there. Okay, so that what happened, we can achieve a high availability. Okay, so for that we are using this Docker swarm. Then comes the examples. Guys, if you are not speaking, please go on mute. Satish, any queries? Thank you. Okay, so then comes the Tomcat. So why you are using this Tomcat here? For in order to deploy the artifacts, we are using this Tomcat. Okay, so here first introduction to the Tom.
One point.
Yeah.
Docker registry.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Let me. I mean, if I left anything, guys, please remind me. Okay. Okay.
Networking.
Sorry.
Networking.
Yeah.
Node networking.
Sure. Okay, Docker networking. Okay. Anything I left? Okay. Then for Tomcat, we are using the we are using this Tomcat in order to deploy our application here. Okay, so this includes introduction as well as the installation here, then deploying the application. Okay, deploying the application automatically. Okay, deploying the automation application automatically and deploying manually also. So both will perform. Then administration as well. Then wildfly also same guys. Both are for deployment only we are using. Okay. Then the monitoring tool. So either if it's left to you peoples guys, okay, I'll teach any one of it, either Nagios or Zabbix. Okay. So here introduction, then installation, then configuration here, then understanding the UI. Okay, understanding the UI dashboard. Okay, then the last topic, that is the Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is also used for creating the cluster here using Docker Swarm. We can achieve that, but Docker Swarm is having the some less feature over this Kubernetes. Hence, most of the organization now they are following the Kubernetes here. Okay, so here first we'll be having the introduction to the Kubernetes, then architecture, then deployments, then replica set, replica sets. Okay, then daemon sets, then static pods, and before that here pods. Okay, then custom scheduler. Okay, let me add if anything left. So in here includes installation using kubeadm and kops. Okay, so using these two tools we will be doing the installation guys. Okay, so at the end of our session we will be performing the CI/CD process as per our architecture guys. Okay, so these are all the topics or a syllabus we can say, so which we are going to teach in our regular session, and it takes around 2 to 2.5 months, not two, we can say 2.5 months in order to complete this entire session guys. Okay, so any queries? So if I left anything, please remind me, I will add those topics as well. Okay,
One question, sir.
yeah.
For the deployment of, especially for the Kubernetes, we will use the cloud as well.
Yeah, obviously we have to do the deployment in cloud only, right? So we can use, as I mentioned here, the installation includes kubeadm as well as this kops. Okay, so kops is a cloud one. Okay, kubeadm is the on-prem servers. And here in the deployment also I will be teaching the imperative method and also the definition file, or else I can add one more, writing the YAML files. Okay, yeah. Anything else? And let me know if I left anything also. And one more thing, guys, in the from the next session, okay, we will be working on this what do you call sorry, Linux machine, right? So for that, you guys needs to sign up in a AWS cloud. Okay, AWS console. Okay, send it to the console. Okay, so for that, guys, you guys no need to use a Linux machine. Additionally, you no need to install it. Okay, so what you guys needs to do is you need to sign up in this AWS cloud, guys. I'm mentioning this URL in a chat box. Okay, so here is the URL I mentioned in a chat box. Just go through this website and provide your what do you call information here, like email ID, password, all those things. Then once you provide it, okay, it will ask you for the credit card or a debit card details. So they are going to deduct you 2 rupees. So within 24 hours they will be reverting you back. Okay, and make sure, guys, don't use any running account special. I mean, for safer side, I'm saying use any dummy accounts. Okay, and sign up. Okay, so in the next session I will show you how to create a instance in this AWS cloud. Fine. So the dashboard will be like this. Once you sign up into the AWS cloud, let me log in. Okay, so this is how the AWS dashboard looks, guys. Okay, so later on I will show you how to create the instance Linux install. Okay, so for time being, just sign up. Okay, so any other queries?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
When we are going to install this AWS, while we are entering our details now, whether we are giving our organization or personal, anything is
You have to
there.
provide personal. You have to
Yeah,
provide your
okay.
personal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there is no change, like I mean UI, all those things
No, no, nothing.
while giving. Okay.
By default, they are giving some of the service free of cost. Okay, for learning purpose, it is enough for us.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Anything else, guys? Okay, so if no queries, then we'll wind up, guys. So from Monday onwards, we'll be having our regular session. Okay, that is from Linux. Okay.
Two more classes will be there?
I think tomorrow, hopefully not there. So any weekends will be not there. Okay, I think so from Monday only. Because most of them will join from Monday onwards. Hence, we thought of starting it from the, I mean, from Monday onwards, we'll be starting our regular sessions.
Yeah, like one more, so like in other, like I saw that syllabus, no, they're covering something Python. So is there any chance of like developing?
No, yeah, Python we are not adding. That is a huge syllabus, okay, and we are not teaching also. If you are
Okay,
interested,
like
there is a dedicated course in the Durga soft for learning the Python. You can enroll.
okay, like in development side also, in DevOps side also, we need to, that is not required, huh? Like,
No, no. If you know, it is an advantage, but it is not mandatory.
okay, fine then.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, guys. Then we'll catch up on Monday. Okay, guys. Good night. Bye. Have a great day.